Well, you know, they said we were dead, Milzer. They said we were dead to rights, that we wouldn't be back, that this podcast was over. But 3 months and a week since our last podcast, episode 21, hits the airwaves. And we're coming live from the Kevin Turner Golf Benefit today. Prattville YMCA's biggest fundraiser of the year for the Coach a Child campaign. No child turned away because of inability to pay for program fees, memberships, after-school care, things like that. And there is a ton of people out here today in support of it, and some celebrities as well. I don't know if you got to take a picture with the man, but I got to take a picture with the man himself, the caddy, the Cadillac. Carnell Williams is here today, and he is the best dude, you know. We have a golfer approaching the tee box right now, and it did not help that we were whispering or being loud because just suffice to say, it was not good. But Cadillac Williams, man, how about that?
That was crazy, man.
All day out here today, and you think like you see a guy on TV and like, that's a persona, you know, he's probably not the same guy when the camera's on him. That dude's a genuine article.
Yeah.
He really is.
Oh yeah, it was I actually went up to see Austin Golson and was talking to him. And Cadillac just walked up and said, "Hey, how you doing? I'm Coach Williams." I was like, "You don't have to introduce yourself to you.
We're familiar.
We are familiar." As you can see from the video, you got Will Barrett over here and iPad right here.
You got Chat GP Stacy right here.
Yeah, I am virtual.
He is.
I'm virtually not seen
because he's not allowed to be, because there's a restraining order against him at RTJ because of previous shenanigans with the golf cart. He can't be seen on the premises. That's not true, but maybe it is. We can't verify that. But Milzer's experimenting with a new setup today. There's 3 wireless cameras working in concert today, but they're little iPhones and iPads, and I don't know how you do it, man. There's no wires. There's no wires anywhere, but there's cameras all over the place out here on the Judge, hole number 12, closest to the pin, where nobody's getting too close yet. But I tell you what,
boredom gets me every time, man.
Boredom gets you every time. We're sitting here in the shady spot underneath the big old oak tree at number 12. It's a hot day, but it is nice and cool here in the shade.
Yeah, we found us a nice shady spot. We just have to keep an eye out for gators coming up from behind us here because we're right there next to the swamp.
We are butted up to the swamp. But you do what you got to do in order to stay warm on the 90-degree days.
If we come back and there's nothing on camera and you just hear us going,
call 911 and send them to Judge number 12. But yeah, what a great day for golf, and also a great day for just watching golf here in the shady spot, because it is warm out there on that tee box. I can tell you that. But a lot's been happening since the last time we did a podcast, Milzer.
I know we've been kind of on a hiatus here.
Yeah.
As different things have been happening for you, me, and everybody. So.
Oh yeah. Since we last talked, my career has taken a turn. I'm with a new company now called Krebs Engineering, and it's fantastic. Great group of guys to work with. Municipal Consulting Engineering, Krebs. They've been around for 100 years. Probably be around for 100 more. If the Lord doesn't come back before then. But stepping up to a much more robust company with many more tools and
a lot big challenges too for you.
Yeah, much bigger challenges. Much bigger challenges out there, but we're excited about it. We're looking forward to it. We've been blessed by the opportunity. And
just to give you some folks' idea, they were the lead engineering firm on the University of South Alabama stadium build down there. So
that's correct. That was a $120 million project.
Yeah.
But and that place is just beautiful. That stadium is, outside Bryant Denny and Jordan Hare, probably the 3rd largest in the. It's about the size of Progressive Stadium in Birmingham. But man, what a great venue, on campus venue for the Jags. Now they're enjoying that. But yeah, sorry we couldn't have been on. We hadn't been on the air for the last 3 months. Like I said, just things have been in flux. Things have been in shift, and sometimes things have to get on the back burner for a while.
If y'all could have heard some of those phone calls I've had with Will Barrett, and you could hear the sheer overwhelmedness in his voice. In the first few weeks, he started this new adventure, and it was nice to see him a lot more relaxed today. And it looks like he's getting more into the groove of things.
Well, yeah, we're feeling a lot better about things. You know, I mean, it's a tough business, but it's a good business, and blessed to be able to have the kind of freedoms we have to do things like the Preferred Experience podcast, and they, and, you know, people behind you to support that. But yeah, we're looking forward to big new things ahead.
Yeah.
But you know, and also since we've been on there, a lot of things have been happening in and around the city of Prattville too.
Yeah.
You know, the I don't know if you've been living under a rock around here, you don't know, but there's no field house at Stanley Jensen anymore. The field house at Stanley Jensen Stadium is gone.
It just kind of miraculously
Yeah, funny.
disappeared.
It took about 2 hours to bring it all to the ground. There wasn't much left holding it up, but hey, it's gone, and there's a new stadium on the way, and that is exciting news, really exciting news. I tell you, who had fun taking that thing down was the PD. Prattville PD got to unveil one of their battering ram tanks, like an M1 Bradley assault vehicle. They made short work of that facility.
Yeah.
I mean, very short work. And the engineering department for the city got together and teamed up, and it was gone in half a day.
Yeah.
Did you get a piece of it to keep?
I got a piece of it. Mayor Gillespie actually got me a piece of it just to give me a piece of it so I could give it to Chip Powell, as his dad Horace was one of the ones instrumental in the initial building of the.
I think he might have laid the first row of blocks.
Yeah.
Back in early 1960s, wasn't it?
But yeah, pretty much close to that time.
And then today, they're breaking ground on Newton Park, the Newton Park 2.0, which is going to be outstanding. It's going to be the city's first pickleball courts, new tennis courts, a skate park. Really good stuff. And you know, there are things coming right behind that, like a revamp of Upper Kingston, a revamp of Whetstone Park. Really good stuff. Really good stuff. Exciting things. And there's a new sheriff in town at the Board of Education with a new superintendent that's come in, Dr. Boyd, and he is just, you got to meet him a little bit.
Yeah.
And that guy's something else.
A real impressive man. Real impressive. He come in like gangbusters. He's revamping the entire discipline policy that they have, and he's taking initiative and going in firsthand in these schools and hearing. He only has 60 days to do it. He's the interim, but at the last meeting, they voted that he was going to head up the search committee for the new superintendent. So
well, he actually had to turn the job down.
He had to turn it down
before they would get a search committee.
Yeah, he had to officially turn the job down. He can't. It would jeopardize his retirement. He'd have to come out of. He'd have to stop his retirement, and we just. I mean, as much as we would love to have him to do it, we can't expect somebody to do something like that. But it's nice to know that that Prattville's made enough impact on him where he
put the application in. You know, we don't know anything yet, but woman's work ahead of him.
Oh, absolutely.
Or her, because this school system, we talk about it all the time. This school system is being triaged right now.
Yeah.
By educators and administrators that have a lot of investment and a lot of care about this system. But hey, you know, you can only squeeze so much blood out of a turnip, and that's what they're having to do on a daily basis.
Yeah.
Hopefully, the new superintendent will come in and we'll bring that tax to a vote again soon, and have a better way of delivering that message, the importance of it, and then we'll have what we need, and then it'll be the destination system that it had been for so many years.
And I tell you what, this breeze coming through right here is a godsend in itself.
Yes, it is.
Even though we are in the shade down here, it's comfortable, but
we are in a low.
We are in a low, so when it gets stagnant down here, it gets stagnant.
Yeah. I'll tell you something else that's feeling the stagnant air in the afternoon these days is Prattville High School football spring practice is underway.
Whew. Yeah, this will be the final week for practice for them, and you know they're going to be feeling it this afternoon.
Oh man, yeah, they've got their Friday spring game on the road in Hoover against Spain Park. and that'll be interesting. You know, there's been a few kids that have moved in this season that have given them a little bit of a spark.
Yep.
There's been some kids that have moved out, unfortunately, for varying reasons. Transfers, I guess you would say.
Yeah.
And I never thought that the transfer portal would make its way down to the high school ranks so quickly, but it certainly has.
Well, not so much the transfer portal. It's just now it's so easy for families. It's not in the good old days. You know, families are more portable now, I guess is the best way to put it. They can move quicker. You know, it used to be to make a bona fide move, you had to totally move out of your house, sell your house, all, you know, the millions of little things you had to do. Now is basically with, you know, apartment to apartment, and you can move from system to system.
And in the same breath, I mean, back in the day when kids were transferring into Prattville, every one of those kids were heavily scrutinized because, why are you coming here? Why are you doing this? The state board would be investigating it.
Mm-hmm.
Nowadays, there's not much investigation that goes on. If a kid goes to a different school system, or if a kid transfers over to a different school, not much is done about it. Not much is looked into. Not much is thought about, and that's a little frustrating.
Well, it's just like anything else right now, man. There's no manpower to do it for you know, across the board. The HSA is having a terrible time trying to find officials for. I mean, you've got guys doing games from. They'll call games. They're having to schedule, like, you know, during the baseball season. You know, like St. James would schedule their games at 10 o'clock in the morning so they could get umpires.
That's crazy.
Because those umpires would be calling like Prattville in the afternoon, so they had to. That was the only way they could. They had to reschedule their games to get them to a time where you could have some. How's it going?
And there's a definite bona fide reason why there's a shortage in umpires.
Yeah.
It's money. It's the pay for these umpires again. I mean, you talk to these guys; they've had their pay decreased in the last few years.
They have voted for an increase in pay here recently, so hopefully it'll start improving for them.
Bring some folks back out.
Yeah, and but yeah, it was getting down to critical mass. I mean, there was rumors of, you know, games being canceled throughout the regular season.
If you can't get anybody to call balls and strikes.
I mean, there were several situations where you just had a plate umpire. You know, you didn't even have a field umpire. You just do what you could do.
Mm-hmm. For the kind of grief these umpires have to take from game to game, from parents and coaches, and now, I mean, even sometimes even now players, you can kind of you can easily validate an increase in pay.
Yeah.
Well, at least maybe back to the standard it was 5 years ago.
Yeah.
At least a little per diem, something. But yeah, you talked with Coach Wallace at all, and he's got optimistic hopes for this season.
Yep.
Cautiously optimistic, I think, is the word. We've got a quarterback coming in Gavin Rigdon that's just a rising junior, but the kid is phenomenal.
Yeah, he's made an impression across the camp world this past summer. So I got the chance to go down to the stadium Friday when they were doing their practice down at the stadium, full pads. Looks good, man. I mean, he's by no means going to blow you away with his physical attributes. Mm-hmm. He's a smaller kid, but I mean, so was Nick Mullins at Spain Park. This kid can, but
a student of the game.
Student and can sling it.
We got folks teeing off here on Judge 12. Drivers. I'm not sure what that's a bold strategy, Stacy. Let's see if it pays off for him.
Hey, I'd be right there with him. Knock down driver. The older you get, the more the driver comes into play.
That's exactly right. Let the club do the work.
A 188 off the tee. Yeah, I'm going driver.
Just try to get up under it a little bit.
A choke down driver.
Yeah, a 3/4 driver.
Yeah.
Yeah, what a day. These guys are just pouring sweat, wiping it off the clubs, wiping it off the forearms. I mean, it's just one after the other.
Got a great view here as one of the gentlemen's about to tee off here. Hopefully we want it. He'll
bam.
Yeah.
You heard him. Turnover. But this tournament, this Kevin Turner Golf Tournament has been going on since 1998.
Yes.
And Kevin Turner has supported it from the day it started up until his death in 2016 from ALS.
Yeah, it was a
Horrible loss for the community, for the football world, for the Prattville community, for every community that the Turners touched. I mean, they're just fantastic men, fantastic people, and yet even it's been 7 years since Kevin Turner has left us, but this tournament is stronger than ever. It really speaks to his legacy.
Yes.
And to what the legacy the Y leaves in this community. It was like, I think it was, Keith was saying, over $300,000 raised for the Coach a Child campaign annually. And all that money goes into scholarships. Every dime of it goes into scholarships, partial fees, program fees, daycare fees, memberships for kids and families that can't afford the programs and memberships. And that, I mean, no kid gets turned away for inability to pay.
Yeah.
And the Y makes that happen for them, but it's the community that helps subsidize the people that can't afford to have these programs. And I know it's like some people say, well, that's just a blessing. I mean, that's a secondary thing. That's not something you have to have. But you talk to the people that have been involved in Y soccer, that have been involved in Y basketball, Y t-ball, Y after school. They will tell you that it's had an indelible impact in their life. Y swimming and gymnastics. It's so much more than a gym when you come to the Y.
Yes.
So much more than just the programs. You guys, you need any luck?
We got one on the green.
Did you move the pin at all? Those are knife sharpeners, by the way.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, I'll take one of those.
Load up.
Yeah.
None of this goes to waste. It all goes with you.
Appreciate it.
Yep.
Hell yeah, the Krebs hooking them up with the swag.
Krebs Engineering has laid out a swag table here of frisbees and sharpeners and bottle openers and koozies. I tell you, there's no shortage of love for the community coming from Krebs today.
Yeah, the official Krebs hole. That's why we got their logo up on our up here on our broadcast. So.
The Krebs hole.
The Krebs hole.
Sounds like an old dive bar. But yeah, I mean the Prattville Y since 1963 has been a staple in this community, and it just keeps on. I mean, you won't find at the Prattville Y, you won't find the best facilities. You just won't. You won't find the most modern amenities. But you will find programs that develop the child and the family spiritually, mentally, and physically. And of course, building facilities now are more expensive than they ever have been. And none of the money that is raised from Coach a Child goes to building facilities. It does go straight back into the children and families of this community. So, as hard as it is to do that, the Y continues to thrive and continues to build, despite the crazy inflation that they're facing today. I mean, everybody is, but hey, the Prattville Y is still doing its thing, still building families, still building successful teenagers, leaders of tomorrow, and in the kids. I mean, we were at the YMCA had their annual gymnastics carnival this past weekend, and the Y gymnastics area is not a large area. They've got outside of the floor and the mats and the bars and all the apparatus that they have to use. There's a thin row of bleachers that goes around it all. I mean, maybe 3 or 4 rows. And that's all you get. That's all you can fit in there. And that place was jam-packed from early in the morning to late in the afternoon. Round after round of kids and families coming through there. I mean, it looked like very much controlled chaos, but they were having a ball. And sandwiched in there, everybody's seeing how these kids are growing and developing. What a great time! What a great time!
Yeah, I was I grew up here in Prattville, so and the Y was an instrumental part of all the kids' lives back then. I wasn't even a member then, but you pay them your $2 and you go in there and play basketball all day, all that stuff. And so it's been that kind of an impact to the community for.
And like Mr. Bradford would say before he passed away, and now David Lewis, the Y CEO today, as he says, this is the greatest. The YMCA is the greatest first-time job opportunity, the greatest teenage employer
Oh yeah.
in this entire community. You talk to anybody that's been a teenager from the 60s up that's lived here, they could probably work for the Y at some
Yeah.
point.
And if I hadn't lived in Booth, I probably would have worked at the Y.
Yeah, exactly.
My mom wouldn't have made that drive every day.
Nah, nah, not at all. We got some more duffers headed this way. Tell you what you don't see at this tournament is a lot of professional golfers, a lot of scratch golfers. You see a lot of folks that dust off the clubs for this tournament.
Yeah.
And maybe one other for the year.
Well, you say that, but I did come across one of the Prattville legends that has been known to have swing a golf club pretty accurately throughout his lifetime. And the former radio voice of the Prattville Lions, Johnny Brownell.
Jonathan Edward Brownell.
Yeah, I saw him out here earlier today getting ready to head
He's
out
an
on
old
the
club
course.
pro, isn't he?
Yeah, he was a club pro at Prattville Country Club for years. And,
Yeah.
so his dad was before that. So
Yeah, he
But
can
he-
swing it. Now,
yeah.
he can swing it.
and
He's
if I
one that can
remember
swing.
correctly, I think he won a national championship at Huntington. I know it was either him or Robert won the national championship at Huntington on the golf
Wow.
team. So,
Wow.
and then their younger brother Bert, who was my age, who got me into playing golf. He was a walk-on at Alabama, so he got to play for Alabama for a couple of years.
Very nice. How's it going, guys?
We're just
We
doing
just-
a little podcasting while we're chilling under the shade.
Running a podcast, watching you guys, putting you guys live on Facebook as you tee off. So don't mess up, okay? And if you do, we'll just say it hooked back. It's in there. The preferred experience. The preferred experience. Yep. Available on all podcast platforms.
What's up?
Hey, what's happening, man? Yeah, make sure you come get some of this swag before y'all leave. Now,
Yeah, it's fun having this camera angle right here. Is you can see them teeing up to the green.
so this weekend you got to partake in City Fest.
Yep, Friday if we did our annual Dixie Country Live remote downtown for City Fest, and
Was it Friday or Saturday you did it?
we did it Friday. We do it, it's kind of the build up to the start. We right before we pretty much wrap up when the opening ceremonies begin. So it's just kind of we help promote and get everybody aware of things going on at the so they'll and we get to interview some of the great corporate sponsors for the Chamber of Commerce for the entire event. So
Best question though is, did you get to interview the Tip Tops?
no, we did not get to interview the Tip Tops.
The Tip Tops, I don't know if you know this, they are the only band in the country that is allowed to play City Fest.
I think so.
They have played City Fest
Opening
every
night City
year.
Fest. Opening night City Fest.
Yeah, opening night City Fest every year, as long as I can remember, has been the Tip
That's like,
Tops.
I think I saw a post on Facebook or something. Somebody's like, "Oh, you need to get somebody different," and they got just completely attacked like that.
Yeah. The Tip Tops, they play for 4 hours straight, and there's like 10 of them. They got all the instruments. They come up from Mobile, and I mean, they're not charging enough for their services. Those guys are amazing. They're really, really fun to watch. They get down in the crowd. They work the crowd.
All right, we're gonna give it a little hush so they can.
All right, this guy's got big arms. If we mess him up, he might hurt us.
Yeah.
How's it look from over there? He's not happy with it.
Not happy.
He's not happy with it. Don't make any jokes when he comes back.
No. 'Cause-
No. Is it?
no,
No
man.
audio.
only on us. So you're good.
We got the dump button. Yeah, maybe we should tell them all like you're on live stream as you go up there. Is that okay? So we're not like clearing that with you. Hey, I'm sure nobody objects as long as you hit it good.
Hey, look, this is a closest to the hole. We got to add a little element of a little difficulty to it.
Mm-hmm.
We got to put some nervousness on.
That's true. And because it's closest to the hole, we got to have the camera for accountability purposes. So you like that one?
Yes, I heard a yes, sir.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, trying to figure out whether they want to hit another one. A provisional, perhaps.
Yeah, the strategery of it.
Yeah, they're going to let Big Papa hit another one. Oh, we duffed it. You got a lot of it. You got a lot of chop. This feels like LIV in a way. See you now.
Y'all have a good one.
So we're back here on the Judge number 12, and it is as far away from civilization on this golf course as one can get.
Yeah, when they heard that we were going to do our podcast, I think Keith just said, "I'm going to just put y'all as far away from everybody as we possibly can."
Because eventually they'll need a power cord back there, and there's no power back there. But Milzer says, nay, power cord we need not. We have our own power source.
Yeah, my goal has been during this off season is to make us totally self-sufficient in any broadcasting situation. So, so that way, if we have to just sit in the stands on the top of the bleachers, we can pull it off.
Yeah.
Without any power.
Yeah.
As long as Verizon has a cell signal.
When you had a chance to practice with it this year during the baseball season.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, Prattville goes out in the first round this year to Baker High School, who made a deep run, but a Prattville team that had a hard time scoring runs, had a hard time at times keeping others from scoring runs, but managed to win.
Yeah.
I mean, just what a gritty, hard-nosed team.
It was one of the best pitching defensive teams that I've seen in the 15 years that I've been doing it. It would just break your heart because nobody could get that clutch hit when they needed it.
And hasn't that been like the snake bite of Prattville over the last 5 or 6 years? Either you had the pitching or not the hitting, or you got the hitting but not quite the pitching.
Because like last year we had guys that were just knocking the cover off the ball, but we had one frontline pitcher, and after that, of course, Drew Jolly was the second pitcher, but he developed into just a complete stud this year as far as knowing, but last year he wasn't quite there.
I know Chattahoochee Valley Community College thinks so.
Oh yes, I mean he throws a no-hitter in a game that Prattville had to have to get to the playoffs, and he comes out and throws a no-hitter, and they win 1-0.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
and it was an unearned run because it was on a throwaway over the first baseman, and runner scored from second.
Wow.
It's just, I was trying to figure it up, and it was amazing. Prattville went on this run. They split with Dothan, and then they won 2 against Enterprise, and that got them in the playoffs. But through all those games, they did not score one earned run.
That's only in high school baseball.
Only in high school baseball.
Or Little League baseball.
Yeah. But they win 3 or 4 and get to the playoffs. It's just amazing. The games were just like, I loved them because the games were over an hour and a half.
Yeah, yeah. Because they win 3 or 4, win the area outright, and get to the playoffs. And of course, they run into Baker in the playoffs, who was obviously the best team in Mobile, but had to slip up earlier in the season and ends up finishing second instead of first.
Yeah.
So they match up against this buzzsaw from Mobile County that can't do anything with.
It's just like I said, Baker was clearly, from that part of the state, was clearly the best team, but somehow they split with Alma Bryant too, so it forced them to go. They wound up coming in second in that region, and we had to face them. It's crazy.
Yeah.
And then Enterprise beats Alma Bryant. So. as the number 2 team in our area.
But there was a lot of good baseball in the county this year.
Yeah.
PCA goes deep into round 3. They go down to Dothan in round 3 to play Houston Academy, who is probably the best team in 3A, and goes to game 3 with them. I mean, that's a good team too.
Yeah.
I think PCA ended up 29-5 or something like that. And then Billingsley up in the western part of this county.
Yeah, they had a phenomenal year, and they got knocked out this weekend in the semis by Brantley, so they were just
right there.
Yeah, and that first game, they if I remember correctly, it was a pretty tight game that Brantley had to pull out toward the end. So, and but it was encouraging for Billingsley. Is if I heard correctly, I think their two frontline pitchers will both be back next year. Yeah.
Oh, a little podcast, a little Preferred Experience podcast. You'll be on it if you tee off here. You'll be on it. That's your live feed right there. What's happening, guys? 190 from there, fellas.
190. I've heard 188 or 190, so it's somewhere in 188, 190.
A little podcasting, and you'll be featured right here, right on this box. Accountability, because it's closest to the pin. So yeah, I mean, so basketball's up this year. Here they go. Ernie Els is about to make this par 3 attempt. He's no Ernie Els. Sir, I've met Ernie Els. I've played with Ernie Els. You are no Ernie Els.
You know, the thing about it is watching these gentlemen come up and hit throughout all of them, it's like a 75% head drop after the chin drops.
Is that Granger Shook up there?
He's got that build.
He's not gravelly enough, but he's got the build.
He's got that strength and conditioning coach build.
He does. It's going to be interesting to see what he does at Pike Road this year.
Yeah. I tell you what, though, you have to be impressed with the support that the community in Pike Road gives its school and its football program.
Oh, there's no question.
I saw their annual crawfish bowl.
Mm-hmm.
What was it? 7,000
pounds
of crawfish that they sell, and thousands of people attended.
Yeah.
I mean, basically the whole town of Pike Road.
Like, ask yourself, how in the world can a school start from nothing and become so successful so quickly?
In just over a decade.
Just under a decade.
Yeah.
And it's because everybody rallies around the school system.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody pitches in. Everybody gives. The town, in this situation, the city, in our situation, the county, chooses to assess the taxes properly for the schools. Yeah, that's how you do it. It's exactly how you do it. And unfortunately, we've lost one of ours to that Corey Lee has gone to be the defensive coordinator at Pike Road. He will be sorely missed. It's very sorely missed.
Yep.
Outstanding coach, and a private legend in a lot of ways. I mean, I hope that one day we'll see him. We'll see him back up in the Cardinal and white again on the sidelines. But now he is with Shook over at Pike Road.
I mean, it's as simple as more money, less stress.
Mm-hmm.
More resources.
We're good. Yeah, we need some more AC if you got any. If you gave it to him, bring it to me. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, there's so many things that happen every year, and it happens this time of year, right from January to April-ish, where players move around, coaches move around. Used to be a little bit of that going on. Now it's a lot going on every single year, and it's almost like a whole new team every year, from the coaching ranks all the way down to the players. But what we're seeing now is, I think it's to the detriment of kids and also to our programs, that a lot of these kids now are choosing sport and just specializing.
Yep.
And going that sport 365. Like a lot of these kids that play junior high football, they were great athletes. They're not coming out for ninth grade, or they're stopping after ninth grade and focusing on baseball or basketball or football. And gosh, if you just read from the experts, listen to the experts, they'll tell you, don't do that. Cross train, play every sport you can. I mean, Marlon Anderson was on here preaching that on on episode 3, I think.
We're talking about a 12-year veteran of the major leagues baseball singing the praises of multisport in high school.
Yeah.
And you know, preaching it. This is you know, we're talking, he's played it at the highest level. He coaches it at the highest level. And he's trying to tell you, this is what you need to do.
And why is he telling you to do that?
But, you know, some travel ball coach tells you that, you know, that's never played nothing more than high school ball, tells you something different. You listen to him. I don't get it. It just,
and more times than not, it's like Marlon says, it's the kids peak too soon. By the time you're a senior in high school, if you specialized in baseball 365 for the last 5 years, these scouts know what you got. Your ceiling is observable. It's not observable if you're a multi-sport athlete.
Yeah.
You're not as well conditioned. You're better conditioned as a multi-sport athlete. You have less opportunity for overuse injury, and you're just a more well-rounded person and athlete. And so, yeah, it's just I don't understand. I know it's a lot on these kids. I mean, I do get it. Like if you're an EJ Owsley type and you play basketball, you play baseball, and you play football at a very high level, and you're a starter on that team. Not much social life going on there.
yeah.
Not much time for anything except school and sports. I get it. So you would think when we drop back and we just do one sport, that we're going to have some leeway in there. But no, all you're doing is just filling all the gaps of basketball, and football with baseball, and there goes all your leeway again, and you're just doing the same thing over and over and over again, and it's becoming more widespread, and it's just, I hate to see it, you know, but you know, they're doing what's best in their eyes, I guess, but then they're going to look back one day and regret that decision. Maybe I'm wrong.
Now, to prove to everybody that we are actually here, and this is just not some random camera shot. Hello.
Yeah. We're really live.
We are just, you know, we talk about the heat and everything. We're really in a place right here where it is just ultra nice, really nice down here.
I'm not thinking I might stay here all night long. Once the tournament's over, that's got to come drag us out of here.
I got a tent right there. The emergency tent.
Yeah.
We are isolated down here, so in case there is one of those wonderful afternoon thunderstorms decides to blow through here, I got an emergency tent so we can put everything in.
I'm looking around though now. If one blows in, it's going to blow in fast.
Yeah,
real fast.
It's barely a cloud in the sky right now. This is other than being a little warm, you couldn't ask for better weather for the tournament.
Definitely not better weather for a podcast.
No, yeah, exactly.
Sitting here in the shade.
Sitting in under the shade tree doing a podcast, you definitely can't ask. Heck, I don't even know if the studio got this comfortable.
Yeah, maybe not. Maybe not.
I'm gonna take a little break and go up here and get some water. So we're gonna step aside here for a minute, and we'll come back here in just a few minutes, and we'll continue on with the podcast. And maybe if we catch a couple of folks come by, we can get them to jump on with us and talk with us. So we'll be back here in just a few minutes.
Peace. Well, back from the break. Down here in the hole at Judge number 12, there are no coolers of drinks or snacks. So Mills and I had to go get in the cart and go find something. Luckily, we stumbled upon Patty Vanderwall and the Chamber of Commerce tent.
Oh, lifesavers.
They hooked us up. Mountain Dew, with some
I
golden Oreos.
I got to say that was the first time I've had chilled Chips Ahoy.
Not bad.
Not bad.
It's really not bad, especially when it's blazing hot.
On a hot day, you eat a chilled Chips Ahoy. Man, it's refreshing.
It's the first time Chips Ahoy has ever been refreshing. But thank you very much to our good friend Patty for saving us for round 2 of episode 21 of the Preferred Experience podcast, live from the RTJ Capitol Hill Golf Course on the Judge, number 12, closest to the pin, par 3, 190 yards. And nobody's really done too well yet, that I can tell.
Yeah, like I said, we got a 75% chin drop rate.
Yeah, 75, 3 out of 4 drop the chin. 1 out of 4 will twirl the club.
Yeah.
Mm.
It might be closest to the green. I don't know.
Closest to the green. Yeah, closest to the green and dry.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, if there's a challenging golf course in this state, the Judge has got to be the one. It is water everywhere,
Except for water to drink.
except for water to drink. Yes. Except for water to drink. Well, there is gentle breeze still blowing in, keeping us cool. This is one of those times of the day where nobody's pulling up, and it looks like nobody's around, and then people will just flood into the hole.
Yeah.
Because there's always that one foursome that doesn't know foursome rules
And backs them up.
and cogs up everything. But it's a YMCA tournament, so everybody's going to be nice about it.
Yeah.
As they should be.
Yeah.
As they should be. And here comes a foursome now. I don't think I recognize anybody in this foursome. Do you?
No, because I can't see that
Because you
far.
can't see that far. For those of you who don't know, Milzer's going blind. A new development here. Milzer has got about 40% vision in both eyes.
Howdy.
What's going on, guys?
No, I can make out objects. Everything's fine. I can't make out faces at a distance anymore. Just 188.
So yeah, at what point do you get one of those cool tags for your car?
I don't think they have those handicap tags for blind people driving.
They just take
Call me
the keys
crazy.
away?
Call me-
You'd be surprised. You'd be surprised. Oh, before
No, but so nobody freaks out. I can drive just fine. It's just I can't make faces out at a distance.
or traffic lights.
I got
street signs.
spots in my vision, and that just it's just hard to focus on a face at a distance.
Yeah.
Sorry,
but
I can see a car just fine.
and you can't but you can't make out street signs or traffic lights
Yes, I
or
can.
lines on the road.
I can. I can do
You
that.
can
Yes,
do
I can
all
do.
that.
I can do all that.
Well, you got it licked then. And you've been riding these roads so long, you don't really need vision to drive. them.
Yeah, the back road to Booth, Alabama. I've driven it blind asleep before. So
That is a real trick. That is the real trick.
yeah. When I make trips over to Auburn, go play golf and cards with the boys. And then there's been many a time I pull up in my driveway back in Booth, going, "How did I get here?"
Yeah. Yeah.
Not inebriated, just exhausted.
just beat. That's all. It is possible to fall asleep at the wheel and not be drunk. You could just be a sleepy dude.
You could be asleep awake.
Yeah. Have you ever been driving and you feel it coming? Feel like you're about to fall asleep. The sleep's coming and you can't hardly stop it, and your eyes start like shaking, and it feels like the road's jittering a little bit, and it's all you can do to not fall asleep, and you're trying your hardest. I've been there. That's scary.
The technique that I used back when I used to commute from Dalton, Georgia, in the early mornings, is I would roll the window down and stick my head out the window and scream as loud as I could.
Did that work?
It works. It works.
It's horrifying,
It's
but it
horrifying.
works.
Yeah.
At 75 miles an hour, doing the Ace Ventura. That's none of your business, Dan. I know he's hitting it the wrong way. So, announcement for people that don't know. This July, late June and early July, all the way to mid-July, something fantastic is happening in Millbrook. The Millbrook Community Theater presents Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory with a cast of about 60 kids.
Oh boy.
And guess who's in it? Your boy.
Will Barrett is in.
Yes. Yes.
Are you playing Willie himself?
No.
Okay.
They got doing good.
TV or filming?
Filming. Filming. You're live and in action right there on the tee box.
Not gonna be good.
You can tell he's a professional by those shoes. No, I play the part of Phineas T. Trout. They actually got a real actor to play Willy Wonka.
Oh, what's the fun in that?
No, Travis Clark plays Willy Wonka, and he is phenomenal.
I
But-
heard it was Chip Powell playing Willy Wonka.
No, he is playing Slugworth. But no, my daughter Libby wanted to be in a play. She's been wanting to do it for a long time, and my father-in-law Steve Phillips he's in lots of the Millbrook Community Theater plays. So he told us about this, and so I took Libby over, and me and Jen took Libby over to audition. And we're sitting there waiting for her turn to audition, and Jen looks over to me and she says, "You know, you're gonna be bringing her to most of these practices, so why don't you just audition yourself?" I was like, "For what? It's a kid's play." She goes, "There's adult parts too." I was like, I don't, but no, I'm just here to watch. This is for her. And she gave me that look, the look like, "I think you probably should do this." She's like, "It'll be fun. It's something you and your daughter can do together." I was like, "You're gonna make me do this, aren't you?" So I have to go audition. I go sign the paper and I audition, and lo and behold, they give me the part of, get this, you'll appreciate this. They gave me the part of Phineas Trout, and Phineas Trout is the he's the newscaster. He's the Ron Burgundy, the one that does all the interviews of the kids that find the golden tickets.
That's perfect.
It's like, I feel typecast. I feel really typecast here. As it turns out, though, it is a ton. It's a ton of practices and fundraisers and stuff. I was like, I didn't count on all this, but it's been fun. We had a car wash this past weekend raising funds for costumes and set pieces and stuff. It's fun getting to know these kids, and I feel like part of the theater now. You never know. It could be a whole new leaf for me. Could be moving to California soon, Milzer.
Oh boy.
Got to podcast on remote.
Yeah, I did great gear. That's just what we need, is you on the left coast. That'd be perfect. Well,
Oh, my gosh.
looks like our camera for the heat finally got to it.
Is it finally overheated? Shut down?
It shut. It said, I'm done for the day.
Well, trust me, you didn't want to see what's happening on the tee box right now anyway. Well, maybe you did want to see that. That's pretty good, I think. But look at the reaction. Nope, it's not good.
No.
A lot of head drops.
Never. Always a head drop.
They left us a long putt.
I tell you what, good luck with that one, man.
Hey, the way it's been looking, the putt is a good thing. No matter where it's at.
These greens putt like goofy golf. So got that to look forward to this summer. Make sure you buy your tickets early because they will sell out. Libby plays the part of Matilda, Charlie's classmate. She's very, very, very excited. It's gonna be a cute play. Big production. So we'll wrap up just in time to start preparing for football season.
There you go. And we will kick off football season with the longest of road trips.
Foley.
Foley.
And that's going to be no picnic this year,
no, they're returning most of their team last year.
including Perry Thompson.
We caught them at the first of the year when they were just getting together last year, and we put a pretty good game on them. But as the year went on, they won their area down in Mobile.
I think they finished the season 12-2. They didn't lose another game,
Yeah.
did they? Until the playoffs.
So that's it's going to be a tough challenge for the Lions to open up down there, but we always love our trip to Foley, Alabama for one reason and one reason only.
Our boy Clark Stewart,
Always going to hook us up.
one of the best dudes in broadcasting today, maybe in radio altogether. Clark Stewart.
Him and Mike Reynolds would have a battle over who would be the best radio guy. And trust me, folks, I've worked for the worst, so I know the other direction.
Which, by the way, how's the book coming?
I just, I try to write it, and it's just like it's like these mental flashbacks come back, and it's like PTSD,
And starts shaking.
I start shaking, and it's the stuff I try to forget.
Stuff you try to forget, but won't go away. All right,
Going.
guys. Hope you got your. We found
Yeah.
it. Hope you got your 190-yard club.
188 is
One-
what all the scopes are saying. I believe that's Mr. Raymond Turner, isn't it?
Couldn't say.
I couldn't tell when he walked up, but
From this angle, it kind of looks like Chip Powell. Speaking of Chip Powell, how about the New York Life headquarters being submarined by a Ford Expedition the other day?
and a Toyota Camry.
And at the same time.
They got tag team. Yeah,
Which, it was crazy because there's so many things.
And Chip showed me the Jones Drug surveillance video that got the perfect shot of it, and it was as crazy as it could possibly be.
For those of y'all that don't know, there was a T-boning at the corner of Main Street and Chambliss Street, right in front of New York Life headquarters, Chip Powell's World headquarters office. Also the office of Miss Angie Powell, who is way more valuable than Chip. Luckily, it was Sunday afternoon, but this Ford Expedition T-boned a Camry coming across the lane, and they both veered to the left and went straight through the front door of Chip's office. And nothing else was touched. Not the signs, not the landscaping, nothing. Just straight up the steps and in through the front door.
And it's like an open air atrium in there now.
Yeah, it's kind of nice.
That's what I told him. I said, weather seal everything and put a water fountain underneath
There you
the
go.
Klein Countryman stairs.
A little
and,
feature right there.
in fact, turn the stairs into a waterfall.
It's called a remodel.
Yeah.
Making it more ecologically friendly, environmentally friendly, lessening your carbon footprint. Not yet. Not yet. We're working on it. We just can see trajectory. Yep. But we got the little red tracer that goes with it, though. No, not really.
Not really. We're doing our podcast while we're under the tree.
You guys are bonus Be Real material. It looks good from here, though. So into the school year coming up this week. This next week and up to Wednesday is the end of school for Otago County schools.
Yeah, and once again, Prattville Live will be bringing graduation on Prattville Live YouTube once again for the folks that can't make it out to the Acadome this year for the certain.
And it is at the Acadome again this year.
Yeah, the intentions were the stadium were going to be under construction at this time, and the reason why they went ahead and went to the Acadome this year because normally they'd made the move back to the stadium, and I think everybody liked that move.
They did. Well, everybody loved that move.
But you
have to make these plans in January.
Yeah. You can't just call up the Acadome like, "Hey, we're going to next week. Y'all doing anything?"
You open on Friday,
Yeah.
and just hope they are. I mean, it's not like you can. It's not like you're gonna just like reroute to I don't know. To the back room at Ryan's like you used to could.
Yeah.
Graduating 500 students that like that. So yeah, Even though the stadium's technically not under construction right now during graduation, it will be very soon. And they just got off on the planning just a little bit, but hey, it was the right thing to do. Better safe than sorry in this situation, right?
Shout out to you, your fearless leader, as he is enjoying the Krebs cam.
The Krebs cam, yeah. Spare no expense.
Yeah.
Spare no expense. That's Owen Ray Womack. I'll tell you this, Milzer. Let's get on to 4 o'clock. I see these golfers starting to lose some steam a little bit as they come through.
I think, as Keith Cantrell told us, we're looking for one.
We're looking for Riverbank.
We're looking for one man and one man only.
That's right.
Bob Gibson.
Bob Gibson. When we see Bob Gibson come through, that is the last golfers, the last of the Mohicans, as they say. Oh, they like that.
But you know, when all's said and done, I think we got the ideal spot for the observation duties.
Oh yeah, I'm requesting this spot next year.
Yeah.
We won't judge 12. We won't judge 12, but we want it to be a half mile closer to the parking lot.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll get a shuttle service out here and we'll be good to go.
No question about it.
Because we didn't have a tent, but we never needed it. We never needed a canopy or anything out here because it's just been
We got nature's canopy right over our
nature's
head.
canopy.
Spanish moss hanging down. It's nice. Picture perfect, Milzer. You haven't even turned your portable fan on yet.
Yeah, the iPad has been running good, and unlike last year at City Fest when I thought it was going to melt on the tripod, that might have been the hottest I've ever been in my life. We called ourselves, we thought we'd be in good shape being under the pavilion in front of Cindy's, but nobody even thought about it. It was the direct line of sun coming over the top of the dam like
a magnifying glass.
like a magnifying glass coming straight in off that glass. And
you little ants are starting to incinerate.
and we had to move our equipment, the Comrex unit that we use to call into the station for our remotes. We had to move it into Mike's pickup and crank on the air conditioner because it almost melted. Had the mic cable running out the window. It was quite the sight. Hey, but whatever you got to do to get the job done.
That's right. That's right.
I think that's my motto.
You know, the motto used to be, "It is what it is."
It is what it
Well,
is.
that's a motto for other things.
Yeah.
It is what it is. But yours is whatever it takes to get the job done. And that's never been more truer in your lifetime than from these 15 years of me knowing you. Maybe longer. It's been longer than that. But yeah, the operation has gotten more sophisticated every year. But it has been whatever it takes to get the job done. I've seen
And that is include throwing stuff and cussing.
And it includes
if that's what it takes, that's what it takes.
It includes certain tools that have nothing to do with radio, like binder clips that are holding wires together and all sorts of things. Don't ever lose your roll of duct tape.
No.
Don't ever lose your box of nuts and clamps and stuff and adapters. Because not only are you taking care of the broadcast on a Friday night football, you're also taking care of the team's coach comm.
Yeah.
Inevitably, there's going to be a connector that gets left, or maybe an entire laptop.
Usually it's the entire laptop.
Hey, speaking of whatever it takes to get the job done, there's an event coming up this summer that hasn't been widely put out there yet, but you're a big part of it as a Rotarian.
Yes, we do need to discuss that. June 2nd and 3rd, and right across in the big field across from PCA will be the inaugural. I cannot stand it when people say first annual.
There's no such thing as
There's no
first
such thing as
annual.
first annual.
Nope.
This is the inaugural.
Mm-hmm.
The inaugural River Region Rodeo
River Region Rodeo, the Triple R.
from Rotary. The Rotary River Region Rodeo.
the quadruple R.
Yeah, the quadruple R, baby. And yeah, it's going to be a great time. And
And like it's a completely unique idea to this area.
yeah,
Who came up with the idea like, hey, you know what this city needs? Rodeo.
yeah. As this is a company that puts on these rodeos. It's a nationwide company. They do it all over the country. Up in North Alabama, I think it's
Right.
Limestone County. Is it Limestone County? One of the counties up there. That's their entire sheriff's department fundraising budget night. I mean, they have tens of thousands of people that attend it. So it's going to be it's not just a cow, just a single cow and maybe a horse run. We're talking a full-fledged rodeo.
The full deal. Will there be
The full-
clowns?
It'll be the full-fledged. It'll be the
Dang.
whole. It'd be a fun for the entire family.
How much does it cost to get in?
It's a good question. I don't have the paper with me right now.
But that
Caught
is-
me off guard.
That's
So,
really a unique thing. Like
Yeah.
like we haven't had has there ever been a rodeo in Prattville?
Yeah, they actually had one about a month ago up at the. They had a fundraising rodeo up at the.
At the Agri Center?
The fairground. The
Oh, I
fairgrounds.
missed it.
Yes.
Well, here comes Gene Sedgwick,
Yes.
the owner of Supreme Greens.
And a legend of the Preferred Experience.
That's right, a former guest.
Yes.
Former guest, y'all doing okay today?
Yes,
Yes,
sir. Can
sir.
I interest you in a Krebs knife sharpener?
Sure. Oh yeah, man.
Right there. One side for coarse, one side for fine.
This actually will get a lot of use with us.
See? See?
Doing all right?
Doing good. How are you, brother?
Doing good. Good to see you.
Good to see you too.
All right. See if I can hit one over the water here.
Where'd you find those clubs?
I went and bought clubs. I play once a year, you know, so I needed some clubs.
Hey, great shot, man.
What'd I tell you? In this tournament, there's golfers that polish clubs off once a year to play golf. There's one of them right now in Gene Sedgwick. My golf clubs got ruined when my kids decided they wanted to play swords with them.
That'll do it.
That's why we were wondering why you ran up here so quick.
That will do it.
Is it 190?
190. Driver. Just get up under it a little bit.
Teed up.
Yeah, teed up high.
A little high. Where y'all going?
They're going to get their drivers.
Oh yeah, I was like, I'm
Did y'all
following
do
the leader. Oh, there's people there we won't ever be able to play. Well, since I hit in the water 7 out of the last 8 times I've done this, I'm going.
You see, Mills are the guests we have on this show. They're givers to the community. Old Cedric right there is one of the ones that I just love to brag about. Guy that constantly gives back to the community.
All right, I got some information on the rodeo now. I had to look it up at riverregionrodeo.org.
Oh, it's got a website.
Got a website.
riverregionrodeo.org.
or .com. Either one will get you there.
Not Rotary River Region Rodeo.
No, just River
Just
Region.
River Region Rodeo. Got
And
it.
of course, all the proceeds goes, to the Rotary Scholarship Fund.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll
You want me to read it, Mills, or I know you have trouble with
pulling
that?
up the ticket information.
It's not that he's unable to read, it's just hard to read when you can't see it, and especially when you got your phone on dark mode.
Okay, there it is. General admission is $17 for adult, $13 for children 4 to 12.
$17, good Lord, that's a lot of money.
Not for that quality of entertainment though.
No, that's
'cause
true. That's all day, right?
Yep.
And kids, $13, but only from 4 to 12. What does it cost after 12?
This is the Lone Star Rodeo. That's what it was. Lone Star Rodeo,
Must be
the
from
God
Texas.
and Country Tour.
The God and Country Tour.
Yeah.
That's something you don't see very often is a left-leaning rodeo.
No, I don't think you'll see that.
God, guns, and family and patriotism is rodeo. I think that's maybe why we like rodeo so much.
I'll let Will read that.
The Prattville Rotary Club has partnered with family-owned and operated Lone Star Rodeo Company, a championship caliber rodeo, to bring wholesome, world-class, family-friendly rodeo entertainment to Alabama River region. The people of Watauga, Elmore, Chilton, Dallas, and Montgomery counties, just for starters, will get a chance to support their neighbors and enjoy a time-tested, old-fashioned rodeo at 74 years in the making. Lone Star Rodeo Company is the nation's oldest family-produced rodeo. Lone Star is committed to a family-friendly atmosphere and honoring our nation's history, our roots, and to point toward the promise of a great American future. Well, how nice is that? A great American future. To honor our roots, to honor our nation's history. Well, that's different. Are we allowed to do that anymore?
I thought that was against the law now.
I thought that was banned. I'm guessing there won't be any drag shows at this thing.
I don't think you'll see that.
Probably no drag shows for the kids. No, none of that, which is very refreshing. Wow! All proceeds from the event will support community causes via grants and scholarships administered by the Prattville Rotary Club. If you live in Prattville, Wetumpka, Clanton, Selma, Montgomery, Pike Road, Union Springs, Verbena, or anywhere in the Alabama River region, you want to see this rodeo. Over 200 pro contestants.
You found you a good shade tree.
You can't beat this shade tree. This thing's been here for 100 years, it'll be here 100 more. Unless the beavers get a hold of it.
Trough might keep you from a little wind, but all in all, good spot.
Wind comes through a little bit, a light little breeze. It hasn't been too bad.
As a little seedling, this tree grew not knowing that one day it would host the Preferred Experience.
Episode 21. Man, it seems like yesterday you were sitting in the studio with us. We were rapping about life.
Man, it's been a long. It feels like an eternity ago.
I know. A lot of life's happened since then.
A lot of stuff's going on. Yeah. We got one on there. In the water. Y'all have a good day.
All
Y'all
right,
too.
y'all have a good one.
They'll be buying rodeo tickets.
Yeah.
Promise you.
Yeah.
Promise you. And I guess that's what I think that's what'll make the rodeo go well is because you don't have to. There's no cringe factor at a rodeo, unless somebody gets gored, of course.
Yeah.
But you don't have to worry about your kids being exposed to something on the rodeo arena floor that is gonna mess with them. It's gonna mess with their head. It's gonna mess with their mind. It's
Good,
gonna mess with their
wholesome
spirit.
fun.
Good, wholesome family fun. And clowns.
And clowns.
So good, wholesome family fun and terrifying family fun too, because there's clowns.
And if we can raise up enough money, maybe we can get like Mike Reynolds on a bull.
Nah, it'd have to be a little one. Have to be a little one. Mike doesn't recover as well as he used to.
Yeah. Oh. Well, I tell you what we can do. Jamie's young enough. Jamie Crockett, president of the club. I think he would be young enough to be able to handle.
The doc?
Yeah, I think the doc can handle the bull.
As long as he agrees to wear like those MLB protective mitts, because he can't mess his hands up.
No, he can't.
Right? He
Well-
needs those. You got to wear the baseball steel. You got to wear
Okay.
the base stealing mitts.
Yeah. So.
That's about the dumbest thing I've ever seen too. I know what the base stealing little mitt thing is for. It's to protect your hand from breaking fingers and stuff. But can we not come up with something better than that stupid oven mitt looking thing that everybody wears? It looks so dumb.
Well, that goes to show you how much I pay attention. I haven't watched a baseball game in so long. I didn't even know I didn't even know that was a thing.
They're wearing them in high school. They're wearing them in like.
Like I can see that far.
Yeah, it's true. It is down on the field. But no, it comes off. It comes off your hand about maybe off the top of your fingers about 4 to 6 inches, and it's just this big, round foam thing with a hard plate inside of it. So when you go diving into the base, you don't jam those fingers up and be out for 6 weeks.
I miss the good old days where you just sit there and sharpen your spikes and just go in spikes high.
Yeah, or didn't go in at all.
You didn't have to worry about hurting your hands if you go in spikes first.
That's right. Or if you slid it off.
Yeah.
You put your shoulder in the guy at second base so he can't roll you over in the double play, and that's just baseball. Now you get thrown out of a game if you run over the catcher, or thrown out of a game if you don't attempt to slide.
Or you get thrown out of the game if you hit the batter in the face with the ball.
Are you talking about the softball game? Gosh, what are you doing? I don't know if you saw this. It was a lower division women's college softball game, right?
I think it was high school.
Was it high school?
I think it was a high school game.
This one of the girls catching this fast pitch softball. Girl goes to steal third base, or pretended to steal third base, like deked to steal third, and this catcher turned around and just pops the batter right in the head with the ball. And they're like, whoa, 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 what happened there? And then on the very next pitch, she turns around and does it again. I mean, clearly intentional. Now I know if the ball hits the batter and the batter's in the box while you're trying to throw it, it's batter interference and the runner's out, or the batter's out. But when it's obvious that nobody's stealing a base, and you're just rearing back and whopping her in the face with a softball from point blank range, you got a problem. Big problem. I mean, that's using your head, but that's not using your head. You know what I mean? People have lost their minds. And I guess that's why we got to have rules like in place to protect players today, because players have lost their mind. They've gone flat crazy.
Well,
and probably because of specialization.
You know, they had that high school wrestling match, or it wasn't a high school. It was a club amateur wrestling match where this one kid got just completely dominated in the match. You know, went up there to shake the guy's hand that was over with, and since he got dominated, I guess he felt like he had to get the last shot in, and just cold cocked the kid, sucker punched him right in the face while they were shaking hands. He went for the deke. He deked him with the handshake, and then when he lowered his hand, pow!
I did see that.
That was awful. I mean, that unfortunately the kid was. I mean, they filed assault charges on him. I mean, it was that bad. But what possesses somebody? I mean, and we're talking about way after the fact. Way after the fact.
Yeah, it's been over a minute.
Yeah.
Like, wow.
It wasn't like it wasn't like something went on during the match and it made him mad and he kind of hit him during the match. That's happened. Of course, it's illegal. You know, you could lose the match over it and everything. That's fine. But this was long after the match was over. They then went and shook hands with the coaches, and they just met up. They were supposed to meet up at the mat and like everybody, and just do the handshake and walk off, and just sucker punched them.
And that's the kind of thing that'll get you suspended from the sport your entire high school career.
Yeah.
Like, you're done. Hope it was worth it. He was probably a senior, maybe last match, hopefully. But yeah, it's just crazy. It's gotten out of hand, and I think it's because the pressure that gets put on these kids, the ones that specialize and they do this, and the parents that invest thousands in private coaches and whatnot. And next thing you know, like, the weight of the world is on your shoulders to perform because you've got so much that has been poured into you. Maybe you wanted some of it, maybe some of it you didn't want. Maybe you didn't ask for it. It just was given to him because we think he's got talent, and then it bubbles over because these kids are still kids. They're prone to go crazy at any moment.
Yep, it's still working. I was seeing if our other camera was working. I was looking in the preview. Will was looking at me like I was crazy.
Mills are losing it again.
Crazier. Yeah, Chip will be happy. I bought multi cables now where I can handle iPhones, and I can power up iPhones and USB devices at the same time.
Because you know he's going to need a charge.
He's going to always need a charger.
Always.
Always.
Hey, Thun, can I plug in right there, Thun? Is that okay?
Hey, did you bring your power cord with you?
Did you bring your power cord?
Oh boy.
Have you heard that once, right?
Yeah, if I've heard it once, I've heard it 1,000 times. Oh boy.
That's one of the other guys you got to prop up on the broadcast, right? It's the coach comm, the color guy, the play-by-play guy. You're propping them all up, dude.
But you know, at least Chip brings the food.
He does bring the food.
He does bring the food.
And without that, let's be honest, it's not quite the party that it
Well,
should be.
he brings the food when Coach's cue is can't deliver it personally.
True. He brings half-eaten officials cheeseburgers too.
Don't even, man. Come on. That wasn't Chip. That was Horace. God rest his soul.
One of the many tales of the great Horace Powell.
I'll tell it real quick. Stressful night as usual in the old press box there.
Of course.
Everybody had gotten to eat food and everything, but of course I'm trying to keep the thing from going off the rails, so I've been working the entire time. Finally get everything lined out, and Horace comes walking in. Of course, Horace, he supplied the official with Longhorn hamburgers. So he had this hamburger. He goes, here you go, Milzer, you can have this one. I was like, yes, I got something to eat when I get a chance. So I'm all, I was like, yeah. I was like, I was looking forward to this burger because I was starving to death, and I got everybody called up. Everything was running good. I was feeling good. Got everything lined out. Oh, now I can relax and eat a burger. Go up there, unwrap the old cheeseburger there, and just 2 big giant bites were out of it. Horse got hungry on the way up the stairs.
Make a pit stop, take a bite.
Oh man, I miss that man. I miss him.
But he only took a couple bites.
He only took a couple.
Gave you the rest. That's called sharing.
Oh man, I miss him. He was quite entertaining.
You talk about when a community loses a pillar. That was one right there, Horace Powell, a pillar of the community. Everybody's got Horace Powell stories.
I could do a whole podcast on Horace Powell stories.
Did it finally give up?
No, it turned off and then turned back on.
We're talking about community pillars we lost recently. One that we've lost in between our last podcast and this podcast is one Colonel Howell.
Wow.
Can you believe? I mean,
Yeah.
what was it 101?
I think that's what it was.
101, maybe 102. But you talk about a guy who was active and involved and plugged in up until he was 100 years old. Is Colonel Howell. And that guy, wow, there's all kind of stories that could be told about Colonel Howell as well. An amazing person,
Yes.
amazing life, World War II veteran, and just one of the, truly a member of the greatest generation. And I think in some ways it's kind of merciful that great men like that have gone on in, because this fake reality we're living in now, they wouldn't be able to handle it.
No, they wouldn't.
It would. I mean, they would lose so. It would be so disheartening for them to see all this this
Yeah.
fake reality we're living in now, where you can self-identify as whatever you want. We've gone past identifying as male, female, whatever, but now we're identifying as wolves and foxes and cats and whatever. It's ridiculous. But the most ridiculous part about it is leaders are placating these fantasies and letting them live it out, and we're supposed to act like, yeah, they are.
Yeah.
She really is a wolf because that's what she says she is, or that's what he says he is, or he really is a female because that's what he says he is. The DNA in his bones don't say that, but that's what he says in his mind.
It was amazing during the entire pandemic, the trust the science.
Trust the science.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, not anymore. Yeah.
No. Can't trust the science on this.
No, the science was wrong on this one.
The science is clearly wrong and has been wrong since the biblical times. Since the creation of man and woman, we've got it wrong. We've had it wrong. Unbelievable. It's so sad. Because I'm old enough to remember in the 90s and in the early 2000s, there were people that would say like, well, I'm in a male's body, but I'm a female. And we would go, we need to get you some help.
Yeah.
We need to get you in with a counselor. We need to talk about this because your mind's lying to you. Your heart is lying to you. We don't do that anymore. We go, let's make concessions for you. Let's make it to where we can put you in a restroom with the opposite sex because you think that's what you are. Leah Thomas, the Penn swimmer, for example, is so awful. Whatever happened to women's rights? There are special rights set up just for women. Their own restrooms, their own locker rooms, their own sports. Title IX. In 5 years, Title IX won't exist if we keep going down this road, because the best women will be men.
Yeah, well, you see the pushback on it now. Fortunately, the international,
The IOC.
the IOC,
Thank you, International Olympic Committee.
they're pushing back. You know,
Yes.
it's like wait, okay, back up.
Tokyo Japan, the largest city in the world, 39 million people. And they had last month their first big Pride March. You know how many people showed up in downtown Tokyo for the Pride March of 39 million people? 10,000. 10,000. That's it. New York's Pride March has 5 million people at it. It tells you the difference in cultures. And we're good, buddy. How are
How's
you?
it going?
190.
188 to be precise.
You're gonna need your Ultra driver. And it hasn't infiltrated the river region as much as it has in other places, but you can bet that it's coming, and it's on the way. And the way it's going to stop is enough people standing up to it, going, "No, that's just not how we're going to do it." And if enough people do it, it gets on. Then it stops. But people got to be bold and embrace absolute truth again. We've quit doing absolute truth.
Oh. Well, Will, I believe we've finally reached the maximum capacity of how long this thing's going to hold together, because it keeps cutting in and out on us. So why don't we go on and wrap it up here? Because
All right.
we've good to go. We've had a good hour and 45 minutes worth of.
Before I get really upset, let's go ahead and wrap it up.
I know you were on a roll.
Before I
with
get
it.
triggered, okay?
I know you're on a roll. But I don't want you to get on a full roll and then you get cut off. Because then the people think I'm cutting you off on purpose.
This is like, we're not going to listen to that crap. All right, well, let's go ahead and sign off then.
We'll go. Of course, we're having more preferred experience coming on throughout the year, and we will definitely be hitting these topics. You can bet on that.
Oh yeah, we got a lot to talk about.
Yeah, we got a lot to talk
A lot
about.
to talk about. So
But we just wanted to come back on and just let you know we're still live.
we're live.
We're
We're
still,
live.
we're still doing our thing.
We're hard out. I'll tell you that much right now.
We had to adjust on different career moves, and now we're getting lined out and ready to get back at it.
Amen. Praise the Lord.
Yep.
So for the Millser, I'm Will Barrett saying, as always, good night. God bless. Go Lions. That's episode 21 in the books.
Thank you.